What can 1 cent do? The 1 cent local sales tax for education, which has been in place for education in Thomasville and Thomas County since 2003, has funded 3 entirely new schools: Hand in Hand Primary School, Thomas County Middle School, and Bishop Hall Charter School. In addition to these entirely new schools, the sales tax has funded major additions and renovations at Harper Elementary School, Jurger Elementary School, Scott Elementary School, McIntyre Park Middle School, Thomasville High School, Garrison Pilcher Elementary School, Thomas County Middle School, and Thomas County Central High School. The 1 cent sales tax allowed the city school system to acquire the federal building and renovate the upper floors for its administrative offices, saving the downtown post office on the ground floor. The sales tax has also funded new school buses for both the city and county school systems and maintenance vehicles. A softball field was constructed in the city school system. A new gym was constructed at Thomasville High School. The former Central High School gym was totally renovated for use as a physical education facility for Bishop Hall Charter School and as a home for Yellow Jacket Wrestling. And the Thomas County Central High School gymnasium was also updated. In addition to satisfying these important facility needs, thousands of textbooks and computers have been purchased with the 1 cent sales tax. Band instruments, science laboratory equipment, and career technology and agricultural education equipment have been purchased as well. In addition to these facility acquisitions, major maintenance projects like replacing heating, air conditioning, and ventilation systems and floor covering have been completed without costing property owners additional property tax dollars. Georgia's Esplost, educational, special purpose, local option, sales tax, is a state law passed in 1996 which allows each county to levy a 1 cent local option sales tax for the special purpose of funding capital projects for education. Thomasville and Thomas County have had an Esplost in place since 2003. Georgia law requires that voters reapprove the Esplost every 5 years in order for sales tax collections to be continued. Thomas County citizens will be asked to vote March 1, 2016 to continue the local sales tax for education. The vote for Thomas County's 4th Esplost will be held in conjunction with the presidential preference primary. Both the city and county school boards have passed resolutions calling for the renewal of the Esplost. School leaders, teachers, and parents have worked together on preparing the projects to be included in Esplost 4. Technology is rapidly changing the educational experience, beginning with our youngest learners and extending to the high school students who are now completing online college courses. Not only do both systems have a need for updated computer devices for students and teachers to use, the schools must update and maintain switches, routers, and other infrastructure that is needed to deliver internet connections to classrooms. Textbooks and digital instructional content for use on computer devices require periodic updates. Aging lab and CTAE facilities and equipment must be updated or replaced. New school buses are needed by both systems. Studies conducted by the National Association of State Directors for Pupil Transportation Services have shown the typical life cycle for a Type C bus is 12 years and a Type D bus 15 years. Both the city and county school systems are operating school buses that are well over 20 years old. These buses must be replaced as soon as possible, and both systems need additional buses. Both school systems will use Esplost funding to upgrade security on all campuses. Security equipment will include new entrance monitoring systems, video surveillance, radios, and communication equipment. Fine arts programs will include new equipment and instruments at all grade levels in both systems. State funding for public education has declined significantly since the turn of the 21st century. Using the Thomas County school system budget as an example, in 2002, 72% of local school system budget were funded by the state. In 2015, the state portion of the budget had been reduced to only 53%. As more expenses have been absorbed by local taxes, Esplost revenue has paid for many capital projects, like new school buses and air conditioning system replacement, which were previously paid for with local property taxes. If the 1 cent sales tax for education were not to be renewed, these needs would have to be met by local property taxes. Within the city school tax district, local property taxes would have to be increased by over 3 mills to replace the Esplost revenue. Within the county school tax district, local property taxes would have to be increased by nearly 5 mills to replace the Esplost revenue. In addition to the important capital needs such as school buses, instructional technology, and instructional equipment, both school systems have facility needs that can only be met through a renewal of the Esplost. Meals are prepared at Harper Elementary School in a kitchen that was constructed in 1956 for a student body about half the enrollment of the current population. A top priority of the city school system is enlarging and modernizing the kitchen and cafeteria at Harper Elementary School. The original McIntyre Park Middle School building, which housed Thomasville High School prior to 1975, was built in 2 stages, the North Building in 1924, the South Building in 1931. These historic buildings continue to serve students enrolled in the Scholars Academy and McIntyre Park Middle School. While a beautiful Esplost funded addition was added in 2014, the original buildings need new heating and air conditioning systems. The current HVAC system was installed in the 1990s, is over 20 years old, and is requiring constant maintenance. The historic McIntyre Park Auditorium, which was partially renovated with funds from previous Esplost programs, needs additional renovations to include modernized dressing rooms and numerous stage enhancements, including new lighting and curtains. Parking lot and exterior lighting improvements are also planned for the McIntyre Park campus. Jurger Elementary School was built in multiple stages over its more than 60 years of service. Several of the older buildings need updated heating, air conditioning, and interior modernizations. The pre-kindergarten building is in need of a new roof. Playground improvements and the construction of additional covered pickup and drop-off areas are also planned. Scott Elementary School will receive new heating and air conditioning systems and a new roof. Thomasville High School will receive new parking areas, draining improvements, new science labs, renovations to the junior ROTC suite, and other CTAE areas, as well as other campus-wide improvements. While the City Board of Education offices have moved to the beautifully restored 3rd floor of the federal building, additional renovations are needed on this landmark building, including new, more energy-efficient windows, restoring the exterior to its original splendor, and completing ground floor and 2nd floor renovations. The current Esplost provided a new roof, new heating and air conditioning, new elevator, and a modernized electrical system. The new Esplost will allow the renovation of the entire building to be completed. Improvements to Veterans Memorial Stadium, home to both Bulldog football and soccer, are planned, including new lighting, seating, and restroom upgrades. All Thomasville athletic facilities will receive improvements, including a parking lot for the softball field, drainage improvements for the baseball field, and tennis court resurfacing. Within the Thomas County School System, numerous facility upgrades are also planned. Hand-in-Hand Primary School will receive interior renovations and the addition of canopies to provide cover for student drop-off and pickup on rainy days. Funding will also be provided for modifications of existing space and construction of new classrooms and support areas to accommodate new programs and student growth. New playgrounds and landscaping will also enhance the Hand-in-Hand campus. Garrison Pilcher Elementary School is Thomas County's oldest school still in operation as a school. Constructed in 1968, Garrison Pilcher is now due for a major renovation. 3 to 4 million of Esplost 4 will be dedicated solely to updating the interior of Garrison Pilcher to include totally new student and staff restrooms, new cabinets and classrooms, new windows and doors, and new floor covering. Outdated playgrounds will also be replaced. The original 1968 building will also receive a new roof. Constructed in 1993, Cross Creek Elementary School will receive new air conditioning as part of the current Esplost program. Now 22 years old, the original student restrooms need renovation, and many of the building's windows and doors need to be replaced. New floor covering is also needed in many high-traffic areas. The Cross Creek playgrounds and physical education areas need grading, storm drainage improvements, and landscaping. Thomas County Middle School will receive instructional, science lab, and CTAE equipment, new paint, and floor coverings. The master plan for the middle school campus, which opened in 2004, included plans for baseball and softball fields. Numerous cost overruns and budget cuts have left a large portion of the campus undeveloped. Esplost Iv funds will be used to build softball and baseball fields, along with a practice soccer field on the middle school campus, providing adequate facilities for these growing programs. Thomas County Central High School was constructed 25 years ago and is in need of numerous updates, including a campus-wide lock system and updated security equipment. The high school will receive renovated science labs, new floor covering, new interior paint, resurfaced parking lots, additional locker room facilities, and new exterior support buildings for agriculture, athletic, and band programs. Bishop Hall Charter School is in a new Esplost-funded building, but its growing enrollment is demanding additional space for career, technology, and agricultural education building. Plans for the new Esplost include renovating the current Thomas County Maintenance Building on the Board of Education campus and returning it to its original use as an agricultural and vocational education shop. Physical plant operations will be relocated to a new building to be built adjacent to the system's bus garage on Charlie Ward Jr. Boulevard. System-wide improvements will be made to decrease energy consumption, including the installation of improved energy management systems. Plans are also being developed to install solar panels to generate electrical power for Thomas County Middle School and Hand-in-Hand Primary School. Our first priority is always the safety and health of our students and staff. Esplost funding will provide new and additional automated external defibrillators for the school campuses and athletic fields, along with other safety devices. Depending upon enrollment growth and other program needs, additional classrooms and/or laboratories may be constructed on the various school campuses. Originally constructed in 1957 as Central High School, the Thomas County Board of Education campus, located at 200 North Pine Tree Boulevard, houses the school system's administrative offices, the Renaissance Center, the district's alternative school, the region's headquarters for the Georgia Network for Education and Therapeutic Services, including 12 classrooms, and the Yellow Jacket Football Stadium. Numerous renovations are planned to the Board of Education campus, including new heating and air conditioning systems, roof, window, and door replacements, new restrooms, and interior and exterior renovations. The Michael Ray Owens Building on the Board of Education campus houses the school system's 550-seat auditorium, which is used by all the schools and the community, the Professional Learning Center, and the Board of Education's meeting room. This building was constructed in 1986 and needs new heating and air conditioning and various interior improvements to include new seating for the auditorium. The softball and baseball fields at Thomas County Central High School will receive new lighting to replace the 25-year-old fixtures that are beginning to fail, and new dugouts and restrooms for the baseball field. The Yellow Jacket Football Stadium, including the field house, will see renovations including modernized restrooms, improvements to seating, and other improvements. So, what will one penny do?
It will ensure that the children of Thomasville and Thomas County have up-to-date textbooks and instructional technology, safe and reliable school buses, and bright and modern facilities. It will also help keep property taxes lower than they would have to be if the total local burden for financing education were to fall totally on property taxes. Remember, this is not a vote for a tax increase. This is a vote to continue the local sales tax for education that has been in place since 2003 and which 98% of the counties in Georgia have to support their public schools. Please help educate your family, friends, and neighbors about how Esplost helps keep our public schools strong and property taxes lower than they would have to be.